Hello, my dear students. So we are now on English Quarter 2 Module 4 entitled Researching a Topic Using Varied Sources. So if you will notice, Module number 2, number 3, and number 4 are somewhat connected because, for example, Module number 2 is all about search engines. So they are very much useful for you as a student because, for example, you don't have or you have a particular topic in the module which you do not understand. So you can search that in the different search engines that were discussed under module number 2. Module number 3, on the other hand, is all about navigating a website. So it is very much important for you to know the important features of a website or the important parts of a website, including the types of website, for you to easily navigate it and for you to easily find the needed website in where you can find the necessary or the information that you are looking for. And for today or for this week, we will be having module number 4, and it is all about the varied sources that you can use in researching a topic. So it becomes broader because we have many varied sources. Okay, just like what we did in module 1, module 2, module 3. So we will skip this part. Ayan. Okay, so let us begin in this particular what I need to know. So these are the objectives in this particular module. So at the end of this module, when you finish this module, you are expected to first recognize the different sources of information. So we have here, I think, more than 5 sources or varied sources of information. The next one, use varied sources to identify specific topics or idea and get information from television or radio. So we will skip these parts again. So let us go on with the most important part, the what is it part, entitled Researching a Topic Using Varied Sources. So it is mentioned here that we can find many information anywhere. So we can find information in the media, in the blogs or vlogs. We can find information from personal experiences of other people, professionals, or elders. And of course, we can find many or lots of information from books, journal, and magazines. So to be specific, there are many sources of information anywhere. And in this particular module, we will be discussing some of them or famous references or sources of information that are used by many individuals. First, we have the book. No, you are all familiar with the book, followed by encyclopedia, and this is how encyclopedia looks like. We also have here journal, followed by database, magazine, and newspaper, plus library catalog. And of course, the most famous, the internet. Okay, let us go back with the book. So, book is the most famous source of information. So, when I was in college, we don't have computer, I don't have cell phone, we don't have internet connection. So, I rely on a book when I was searching about my assignment or the topics that are being discussed by my teachers or professors. So books can be Okay, sorry for the interruption. So, books can be a fact or fiction. So, books can be fiction or non-fiction. So, when we say fiction, they are not true. Maybe based on our imagination. For example, we have their books about fairy tales, books about Harry Potter, just like that, Twilight. On the other hand, when we say non-fiction, it is based on fact. So these are the books that we are using in school, just like your book in science, book in TLE, book in English, and so on. And we usually use books sometimes for research purposes. And in my opinion, honestly, uh, when I am searching a particular topic, I prefer to use books instead of the internet, because sometimes in the internet, when you type a topic which you need to find the needed information, you can search broad explanation. But in a book, you can find a simple explanation, sometimes with examples, and sometimes with varied activities for you to better understand the information that you are searching. And libraries organize and store their book collections on shelves called stacks. So try to remember this word. So what are the uses of a book when looking for lots of information on a topic? So you can find many books containing lots of information. So that's the reason why sometimes or you need to try to become a book lover, because when you are a book lover, you can learn a lot of things from a book. And aside from that, another use to put your topic in context with other important issues. So you can find different topic about different contexts in the book, and you can connect those topics in important issues. Next, to find historical information, so we can find histories in a book, to be specific, in a history book or in an Arling Panlipunan book. And you can use books to support your research. Most especially when you go to college and you will be having a research, you can or you need to use lots of books. Okay, so that's the reason why that is number one. Number one type of information source. The second one, we have here the encyclopedia. This is how the encyclopedia looks like. So it is a collection of short, factual entries often written by different contributors who are knowledgeable about the topic. So you can find also a lot of information in the encyclopedia, and they are arranged by volume. So sometimes this particular book is just letter A, so you can find informations or all the information which begins with letter A. So and so on, letter B, C, D up to XYZ. And encyclopedias are divided into two. So we have general encyclopedias and subject encyclopedias. So when you say general encyclopedias here, it provides or they provide concise overviews on a wide variety of topics. No, it contains many topics. While on the other hand, when we say subject encyclopedias, they only contain explanation on a particular field of study. For example, it only focuses about medicine. It only focuses about ophthalmology. So, in a limited or in a particular topic only. While a general encyclopedia focuses on a broad or many topics, variety of topics. So these are the uses of the encyclopedia. If you want to find background information on a topic, and if you were trying to find key ideas or important dates or concept, you can find that in an encyclopedia. Journal, on the other hand, is a collection of articles usually written by scholars in an academic or professional field. When you search that in the internet, and this is the meaning of a journal, it means the definition of a journal is a diary you keep of daily events or of your thoughts, or a publication dealing with a specific industry or field. For example, a group of doctors are having research in a particular vaccine, so they will note that in their journal about medicine or about that vaccine. So that is a journal, and it contains articles, and these are the uses of journal for research purposes. It contains information about a certain topic that is being studied. And you can also use a journal in pointing out other relevant research. So database, or on the other hand, is almost the same with the database being used by the DepEd, by the Department of Education. So database contains citations of articles in magazines, journals, and newspaper. They may also contain citations of podcasts, blogs, videos, and other media types. So when we say database, almost the same with the one in the Google, just like this one. This is a database. For example, you want to search about tips for making video lessons in English. When you search that, ayan, you can find lots of articles. So this one is almost the same with a database. Next, a magazine, of course, that is very much familiar. It is a collection of articles and images about diverse topics, and those topics are of popular interest, and of course, current events. So, that's the reason why we are publishing magazines every now and then, because it must contain current events. But for those old magazines, we can still use that magazine. So these are the uses of a magazine: to find information or opinions about popular culture. Sometimes we publish a magazine of a school, and it contains the culture and the activities in that school. And to find up-to-date information about current events, mga bago current events. Newspaper, of course, collection of articles about current events, usually published daily, just like the magazine, and it contains news of what is happening in our country. It contains sometimes international news, national news, or local events. It contains editorial, commentaries, mga expert or popular opinions, mga editorial yon, and mga write-ups. Sometimes it contains crossword puzzle, mga ganon, and news about show business. That is newspaper. And sometimes when the president is having SONA, you can find that or the detail of that in the newspaper. And we have here the library catalog. So library catalog is almost the same with, just like this one, the one on the picture. It is an organized and searchable collection of records of every item in a library. So if we have table of contents in a book, so in a table of contents, you can find the topic and the corresponding pages in a book. This library catalog is almost the same with the table of contents. Table of contents in the library, because it contains a collection of records of every item that you can find inside the library. So the use of this is for you to find what you are looking for, what book you are looking for easily. So that is the use of card catalog or library catalog. And of course, the most famous, internet, because in the internet you can find the current information without hassle of going to the library. Diba? In just one click, you can find your needed information. But based on the previous modules, try to remember, my dear students, that not all information found in the internet are true. So try to pick the necessary information that you need, or try to read and read for you to find the needed information. Okay, so for today's task, I would like you to answer all the activities under what's more. So we have here the independent activity. All you need to do is supply the missing letter based on the types of sources. Independent assessment number 1. So we have here pictures. Try to identify the type of resource. Next, true or false under independent activity 2. In independent assessment 2, we have here the word bank. You will just put the word here in the proper column. For example, fairly short articles, where can we find that? In these particular types of sources. And independent activity 3, we have here a selection or a paragraph or an excerpts from an online article. All you need to do is to write what the topic is all about. What is it all about? We have here an example. So what is this paragraph all about? This is the answer. So try to read and analyze. And independent assessment number 3, so we have here the link, and the link is all about the COVID-19, the infodemic. So try to watch the video in this link and then answer the 5 questions that follow. Ayan. So I hope everything is clear. If you have question, of course, you can message me. Okay, goodbye.